All right, boys and girls, welcome back to the drive-thru. Shout out to Mr. Baggett, 25th birthday today. And thanks to Mr. Reardon for the bagels. My cheese bagel was just delicious. I'm assuming it's, what kind of cheese is that? Asiago, of course. Of course. Okay. So the hint for these is in the directions. Fill in the values and find the factor used to move between the whole numbers. So the come on, pen, work. The factor to use, okay, so FW, and again, this is so much more language than it is math, but that is like the total key, just understanding what the symbols mean. FW is the whole number factor. We can figure that out right away. Sorry. Okay, so how did we get from 0 to 1? We doubled. So how are we going to get from 1 to 2? We're going to double. So that means 2 is 16. And what is our whole number factor? It's 2. Now, you would have any idea how to do this unless you watched my newly uploaded video from yesterday's work. Okay, so it's no problem if you had no idea what this was. How could we find the number that's in between 4 and 8? Well, typically you would do 4 plus 8 divided by 2, but this is the arithmetic mean. It's the average, and we don't want the average because we are not growing in a line. We're growing exponentially. Our growth is like this. It's not like this. So if you took the average of those 2 points, it would be here. We want one that's just slightly further off from it. It's a crazy concept, but you can do it, okay? So here's how you find it. You take 4 times 8, and then you square root it. So instead of adding and dividing, you're going to multiply and square root. This is called the geometric mean. So what is that? That's the square root of 32. I'll write out all these steps, even though if I was doing it on my homework, I probably wouldn't write all these out. Well, 32, how can I simplify that? Well, I would say that is 16 times 2. You might say that is 8 times 4. No problem, we can do it 2 ways. So the square root of 16 is 4. So that's 4 radical 2. This way you would have to do, that's 4 times 2 times 4. Here's a pair of 4s, so we can take them out and write a 4 on the outside. So the answer to this one is 4 radical 2. So how do we get from 1 to 1.5? This is 1.5, 1.5. We multiply by radical 2, so this is going to be 8 radical 2. Okay? Let's look at number 18 now. Looks like we went from 5 to 15. We tripled. So this is going to be 15 times 3, which is 45. Oh, excuse me, I didn't finish this. The answer to FC, which is our FC must be our, I don't know what C is. I don't know, half. It doesn't matter. I'll just follow the directions. So here, our F whole number is 3. Now I would almost guarantee you that to get halfway there, you're going to multiply by radical 3 here. That's my guess. But I don't know. I've never done this. So how am I going to figure out what goes here? I multiply the 2 terms and square root them. What the heck? Just a little temporary case of being an idiot. 5 times 15. Is that 75? Yes, it is. 75. Well, that's the square root of 25 times 3. Square root of 25 is 5. Radical 3. Yes, sir. Which makes this 15 radical 3. And that's learning, I guess. Boop!